Like fucking, you guys got in a screaming argument last night.
It wasn't an argument. It was them being retarded talking about the Rams being good.
Okay, yeah. There's no argument there then.
There's facts and there's untruths. And they're like, oh yeah, the Saints suck. And I was like, do you think I don't fucking know that? I watch them every fucking week. Yes, I know we fucking suck. And they're like, I was like, but that's not the point. The Rams suck. And they're like, yeah, but the Saints suck. And I'd be like,
it's like, okay, we can do this all night.
We're not arguing about anything there. Yeah, we suck. You guys suck, and you're supposed to be good, and we're supposed to maybe go back and repeat. Mm-hmm. Ugh, that makes me mad, dude. I hate Rams and Rams fans, because True is such a fake Rams fan, dude. True is not a real Rams fan at all. People don't know that about him, but he doesn't even like the Rams actually that much.
Dude, we were working out the other day, and he was wearing his Rams shirt, of course, on the leg press, and just some dude comes up to him and is like, "Go Rams."
Oh,
one of his buddies.
They're so gay.
And he's like, look. He was like, see him wearing the shirt. And he was like, yeah.
Dude, fucking... Did you see Christian McCaffrey went to the 49ers?
Yeah, Jay was crying last night.
That made me so happy, dude. Because I was like, the Saints are losing, and I was pissed off. And literally, like, Jay was a couple seconds ahead of me on the game. And, like, he was like, oh. And I was like, let me guess, a fucking pick six. Because we were up 14-6 with, like, 2 minutes and 36 seconds left going into half, and we were receiving the ball. Yeah. And fucking, I'm like, oh, yeah, they scored. That's okay. Like, bend don't break, and like there was a couple times that we should have stopped them, but like it's like whatever, I don't care, I can live
Cardinals
with that.
Aren't bad.
They're pretty good, yeah. And they just got DeAndre Hopkins back too, and fucking like this was a game we were supposed to lose. Like literally on our schedule, it's like I have us losing 6 in a row, and like this is because it was supposed to be fucking like even at the beginning of the season, like we were supposed to win the first 5 games. Like it was Panthers, Falcons, Bucks. Fucking, who else we played? Vikings, who ended up being better than we thought. And, I don't even know who else. Fucking, they're beating them fucking memories out of me already.
The Bengals. So bad you had to repress it.
Yeah, the Bengals. And, like, we didn't start out, or no, the Bengals were like the 6th week. But fucking anyways, there was like 5 teams that we could beat. And, we ended up going like 1-2 and 3 in that stretch. And I was like, oh, well, that's very bad because now we have up like, it was the Bengals, who we ended up almost winning against and then still lost it at the end. Yeah. The Cardinals, who I thought we were going to lose to. I don't know the order from there, but it's the Ravens, the Raiders, and the 49ers.
Oh, yeah, that's...
And the 49ers just got Christian McCaffrey, too. Dude, shit is absurd.
I was in the party with Dimitri and Jay last night when it happened, and they were talking about it, and Dimitri was clowning the fuck out of Jay. He was like, how's it feel, Jay? He's like, how does it feel? Lost your best player, and now you're going to lose DJ Moore soon, too.
Dude, they are going to. But what I was saying is fucking, like, Jay made the noises like, oh, yeah, we threw a pick 6. And then it was, like, literally again, the next play went out and threw another pick 6. And, like, oh! And I was like, oh, great, another fucking pick 6. I quit, left the Discord, started fucking writing shit for the stand-up shit, and I was like, I'm done. Yeah. And, like...
That's enough Saints for today.
Yeah, that's enough. I can't, like, get furious. Because the game was going to end... Like, well, I mean, the game ended when I was at, like, the stand-up thing. So, like, if I would have been, like, watching that the entire time, I wouldn't have practiced, and I would have fucking been furious. But fucking... So, that happened. I left the Discord, fucking was done. And, like, I didn't even realize that happened, because I was literally just drinking and, like, practicing my shit and, like, getting ready. And then I slid over to the crib and hung out with Jack and Nick after, like, everyone had already left. And, we were just sitting there drinking some more, talking shit, got Wingstop, and like then they were like I looked at, or I think one of them was like, you see Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers, and I was like,
oh,
I was like, no fucking way, like I literally thought that they were making it up because like that was just too good to be true. And then they were like, yeah, nah, look, and like opened up my Instagram, and that was the first thing I saw, and I was just like, let's go. I hope that Jay saw this. And I was like, honestly, I hope that Jay went to sleep so he gets to wake up to this.
You should have heard the noises Jay was making. He was like,
like legitimately wailing in the fucking nigga was crying in the club.
No, it was just like a slight. It was like a semi-ironic mental breakdown. That's how I'd describe it. He's like, "There's no fucking way. There's no way."
Dude, if like that, I mean, honestly, I want to say like that's how I'd be if we traded Alvin Kamara or like Michael Thomas. But now I'm just like, fuck it, like complete rebuild.
Like, whatever. It's not like it's either going to be that much worse.
It's like either we're going to fucking trade, either we're going to get a quarterback, which we don't have enough money to pay a quarterback within the next like 2 seasons that we have fucking Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas, or we're not doing anything with them. And that is where you say we can't lose them and like just get picks back. We need to fucking trade them away and get like a player and picks. Because like they're fucking good.
Actually change the fucking plan.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna work.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I love those two, but like, I'm like, fuck. I also
Money-wise, it just doesn't line up.
Yeah, and I also don't want them to just sit here and waste their careers here. Like, it's gonna be annoying seeing them destroy us whenever they go somewhere else, but like...
Michael Thomas ass naked, just watching Jameis throw fucking hot wings to the fucking cornerbacks.
Dude. And it's not even fucking just a Jameis thing. Andy went out there and threw like 3 picks last night too, and 2 of them were devastating. I feel about
Andy Dalton already.
Yeah, I was fucking.
You low-key sold me that one time. I was like, you know what, Andy Dalton really might not be worse than Jameis Winston, but I think I might have spoken too soon.
Yeah, I mean, he fucking definitely last night he wasn't as good as Jameis, and I mean he was about the same.
I mean, yeah, both are shitty.
Dude, fucking, I was reading about this, well, when I say reading, I saw him in a show and then, like, watched some videos on him. There was this fucking black serial killer named William Harry Hance, or fucking Henry Hance. This dude was fucking nuts.
Whitest name of all time on a black serial killer.
Dude, you know why he was committing the crimes?
Because his name was that?
He was trying to fucking frame this group of white people that are, like, a fucking cult or something that were killing, like, black people.
It's
and, like,
based.
They're like, why did you keep on killing, they're like, oh, so what'd you do it? And he's like, or you sent letters saying that it was some white group that like was doing it. He's like, yeah, because I wanted you guys to think it was this white group and not me. And then they're like, okay, well then like, why did you keep on killing black people and like framing it against them? And it was like, so you would go out and find those evil white guys. And it was like, but that was you. And he's like, yeah. And they're like,
he was like, but what were they doing then?
And he was like, well, they was out there. And like, he ended up fucking,
nice.
He killed like one, dude, it also made me mad whenever Seabass tried to question my fucking serial killer knowledge authority.
I remember as soon as he did that, I was like, Seabass, like,
just stop, because you don't know what you're talking about. And like, literally this guy, he killed like mostly black people, and the one white person that he killed, he just, like, ran the bitch over with his car a bunch of times and then, like, I think decapitated her.
That's fire. That'd be fun.
Dude, most serial killers do stay on their race. Dude, there's this one guy, I have to look at, I have it in my notes, but it was the funniest fucking story I've heard out of a serial killer thing in a while. This dude was so fucking dumb that, like, he went to Arthur Shawcross. He fucking he went to, like, tell a judge that, like, hey, I actually am the one that murdered those 2 children that everyone doesn't know about. And the dude was so stupid that the judge was like, honestly, this guy's confession means nothing to me in a court of law. Like, he does not know what the fuck he's talking about. And, like,
really?
That guy was, like, an actual serial killer. And he was just like, oh, I mean, we got to get him somehow, but that confession is not going to do it.
That's so fried.
Dude.
I mean, I get it technically, but
like, how stupid do you think that guy had to be? Like, if he just, like, what could he have said that made the judge, like, not hear him admitting to murdering 2 children and being a serial killer that made him go, this guy is way too fucking dumb. Like, just no grammar whatsoever. And he's like saying words wrong. And he's like, murdered. And he's like, you mean murdered? Yeah, those 2 children. And he's like, oh, you mean children? He's like, yeah, this guy's really fucking stupid. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
Like, it was actually a case of, like, he thought he was retarded.
Yes, like, that's why he was like, his confession doesn't mean anything. And, like, because they killed one guy that was retarded and, like, for a murder that he didn't do. And, like, the dude literally didn't know to defend himself. So he just had his, like, toy train and, like, would play in his cell all day and was, like, always happy and shit.
That's awful.
Yeah, and then, like, one day they're like, all right, we're going to kill you. And he's like, all right. And, like, just, like, was smiling on the way there.
Because he had no clue what was going on. He was like, "Oh, sick chair."
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool hat. It's kind of wet. And then, dude, getting electrocuted. I always get on these weird like strings where like I'll go on Instagram and I'll see like, it's usually USA Crime, and they fucking post like the most wild pictures of like what's going to be a crime, and it's like a news story, and it'll be like this happened to this. And today, like this morning at 8 a.m., like I got on Instagram, and like one of them was like, man gets axe to the head, and I was like, Jesus Christ, I guess I gotta look at this. And like I fucking literally at 8 a.m. go to their link, because they can't post the video on Instagram, so they have like a link tree thing, and like they can't even put their own link to their website, because if they do, then like Instagram can say that that's the content they're putting on Instagram, and that they have to like, they can take them, demonetize them, whatever, or take them off. And so they have to put a link tree, and then you click on the link tree, and then it takes you to a page of like links, and then one of them at the top is USA Crime, and you can actually watch the fucking videos. And like it was like the third one down. Usually whenever you go on, you can't find it for like a while, and so it's like, okay, well, I'll go through. Oh, well, I mean, Indian guy gets fucking hit off of a train. Indian daredevil dies doing stunt off a train. I gotta watch that. Or like 3 Indian people get fried to death by electrocution on top. I'm like, oh, I mean, that is perfect title. You got my attention. And like you watch a bunch of them and you're like, man, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like,
so is USA Crime just like normalized gore page then?
Yeah, pretty much. But I like it better than like Live Leak, and better than Live Leak is really the only one I used to use. I think Best Gore was a thing. I never really was a fan of that one. But like Live Leak, it was like videos of shit happening. But like there would be like a bunch of bullshit on there. Like a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
But fucking this shit is literally just like scroll. Oh, you want to watch this one? Click it. And then it already starts playing for you.
Dude, I was so taken off guard yesterday when I was over at Pomo, just chilling in Grant's room, and I was about to like start working on my essay or whatever, just with my laptop in my lap, like bullshitting with him. Jack comes over and hands me his phone to like show me a video, and I just look, and it's a fucking donkey sitting oblivious next to train tracks, and this train's coming, and it looks like it's going so slow, and it just touches the donkey, and it fucking explodes.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
like it was fucking just an extremely slowed down video or version of the actual thing.
No, it wasn't slowed down at all. It's just like from that perspective, trains like don't even look like they're going that fast. So it's just like chilling, and then touches the donkey, and it just fucking explodes,
dude. Because there's always people that
so weak.
There's people that'll like lay on train tracks and be like, oh, you know, in the movies they say if you lay under a train and it comes, you're fine. But like most trains aren't built like that anymore. So like there'll be people that get like smushed, and like people that'll be like, oh, I'm gonna stand like right at the edge of a train, and like it's gonna come by and it's gonna like cut off the cigarette that I'm smoking. Like
it cuts their fucking skull off their shoulders.
No, it's wide. It's way wider than I thought, and it like hits them and then fucking like blows them up. Dude,
that fucking donkey literally like splattered everywhere though. I was like, wow, okay.
Dude, people dying in hilarious ways is so funny to me. Like, I don't feel bad for them almost. Like, even whenever it's like something that's out of their control fully. Like, I used to watch like videos of fucking like dudes getting beheaded like in the Middle East, and there'd just be like one clean sword thing, and it was just like, whoa. Dude, and then just put it on repeat.
I definitely used to, there was like the long era of being an edgy little kid where I would watch that shit and just like thought it was hilarious. And then there was a while where I was like, oh, I can't watch that stuff anymore because it's just like too fucked up. And now it's just hilarious again. Dude,
you fucking did a French Revolution on yourself.
Exactly.
You're like, turned up, made everything worse, and then decided to go back the same way you were before.
Yeah, I think it's because I don't seek it out anymore. Now it's like a treat whenever I do see a donkey explode from getting hit by a train. You know what I mean?
Dude,
it's like, oh, I didn't expect that, and I don't feel grimy for like I didn't look it up. Like I just saw it.
Dude, I just throw that shame out. I'm like, I gotta see this. It was crazy, dude. Like the axe literally just like. It was like a 30-second long video, and like the axe thing was like the last 5, and like I was just like, oh, and like this dude clearly has an axe, and the guy sees it, and the woman is in like the kitchen making something, and like there's two guys there, and like one's sitting on the couch, and the guy's just standing up with the axe, kind of has it behind his back, not hiding it, but just like he's not about to use it or anything, like slunk over his shoulder, and then like you're just like, oh, is he gonna do it? And he like makes movements towards him, and then you're like, okay, it's getting towards the end of the video, he's definitely gonna shoot. And it just got stuck in his head. And like the woman like was like, what is that noise? Because it wasn't even like super loud. And the guy was just like fucking didn't move at all. Like I would have thought that
even the scenario.
Just in a fucking like a little security camera of like a dude's living room and like kitchen.
And just the homeboy pulled up on him with an axe and
I guess like he
fried his shit.
I was thinking that he like owed the guy money, but like I don't know if he would have been sitting there. That must have been what it was, because, like, there's no other... But I don't know why the wife would just be, like, acting normal, like, right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Shit is fucking different in South America. Shit is different all over the world, dude.
I know.
Eastern Europe, fucking... Tom Segura was telling a story about how he had, like, a cab driver, and he had, like, said some Hungarian word that, like, basically meant dirty gypsies, and, like... The cab driver started like dying laughing. He's like, hey, but seriously, don't say that in front of any of the gypsies. They will kill you. And he was like, I think he was like talking about like how he had a Hungarian dude in like an English place or something. And he's like, he was about to go and like a fat old lady walked across the street after her light was off. And he like honked the horn at her and she like flicked the dude off. And he was like, see, in my country, if a woman shows me that finger, I would get out of my car and I would beat her to death. And I would come back a week later and her body would still be there.
Okay.
And I was like, Jesus Christ.
That's fire, though.
That is fire.
That's how society should be.
Yeah, just be like, hey, if you fucking challenge somebody like that, you might get beat to death. Like, I have a full understanding of that. That's why I don't walk around flicking people off and, like, doing shit that might get my ass beat, because I'm very aware of the possibility of that happening.
Facts.
But, like, I hate that shit, like, that women will be like, oh, you can't hit us, because, like, I'm weaker than you. And it's like, I'm weaker than, like...
That's just a poor tactical decision by you to start this then, babe.
Exactly, because, like, basically the example that's used all the time is like, okay, so if I ran up to The Rock and punched him in the face and then he pummeled me into fucking a thin metal sheet because I'm ductile. Yeah. Are you going to feel bad for me because he beat me up and he's stronger? And they're like, well, no, you shouldn't have started it. And it's like, yeah, because it's almost like I have a choice and like I made that choice and it was a bad choice and I suffered the consequences from that choice.
Dude, but Blythe actually told me, she gave me the pass to beat up women because she said my hair's long enough. She said I can fight chicks.
Dude, that's so funny. Fire? Yeah, you could get away with it because dudes will kind of be like, oh, is that a chick? I don't know.
Maybe he's a faggot.
Yeah, maybe he's gay. But then every once in a while, a gay dude will fucking pick a fight with the girl.
Get destroyed.
Not destroyed by the girl, but like by the guys around there. Like, no.
That dude in high school?
Justin, yeah, I remember him. He was funny. Like I had him like all through middle school. I remember he had one of the funniest lines, like two people that wouldn't shut the fuck up in health class when you were trying to watch the same fucking movie or something. Mm-hmm. And like Coach Seymour just had it paused and was staring at him. And he was like, hey, Beavis and Butthead, shut up. And then they're just like, okay. But Justin tried to he did beat up a girl. And then like 3 dudes jumped in and beat the shit out of him and like threw him in a ditch.
Dude, yeah, I fucking witnessed that shit happen.
Really?
Dude, yeah, because it was like...
It was in between the 9th grade center and the... Well, it was more towards the 9th grade center, wasn't it?
It was like between the weight room and the, like, 10-12 building, like, where, like, the big parking lot was. He started, like, you know how there was, like, the big space, like, out in front of, like, where the bus port was before the cars started? Like, the parking lot started. It was, like, right there at, like, the start of those cars. He was, like, fucking hitting this chick. And, the fucking, like, weight room doors just swing open. And her, like, cousin or brother, whoever it was, just literally, like, flew out the fucking door. Ran all the way across the, like, 40 or so yards of asphalt. And then just, like, literally picked him up and fucking slammed him over into the ditch, like, around the football fields, and was just on top. Like, he literally picked him up, slammed him in the ditch, and it was a ditch that's like, I mean, you remember, but to describe for the audience, it was like probably like 4 feet deep, and the part that he got slammed into is where there was rocks in the bottom, and you could see, like, he was like conscious as he was getting slammed, and he hit the ground and immediately was just asleep.
And the dude still kept on hitting him?
Yeah, he was just on top of him, just throwing bombs at this dude's face.
Damn.
Dude, yeah. And like, but as soon as he flew out the door at like 1,000,000 miles an hour to do that, like 3 football coaches flew out the door behind him at like 90% that speed. So like,
it was
he
over
slammed
quick.
him, he got knocked out, and he took like 5 fucking bombs to the skull. And then like there was 3 dudes pulling him off him already, but he was like limp in that bitch.
That taught him a lesson. I bet that taught the girl a lesson too. That's what's important, is that girl is fucking never gonna forget that she cannot talk shit to any dude, no matter how fucking not about it he might seem. But Justin, I don't know, he didn't give off a not about it vibe. He was like a hood gay dude that I was like, yeah, this dude, like, I knew, I was like, I will not fucking fight Justin. Like, I was always on his good side, because I was like, this dude will beat my ass and fucking rape me in front of everybody. That would be like some prison shit. Like, that'll be awful. I would hate to get my ass kicked by a fucking gay dude.
Dude, yeah. The real lesson that should teach her is like, you're getting your shit worked by this guy that you thought wouldn't do anything to you, and look what fucking happened to him from this other guy. So be careful.
Dude, there's dudes out there that would fucking kill you. There's dudes out there that don't even look like they would be able to do shit. Like Sean O'Malley, he's like 6 foot.
He could literally like end one of our lives with one fucking punch.
Literally, he could disconnect our brains to maybe not literally kill us, but he could give us serious fucking brain damage in like a matter of 3 seconds. He might be able to actually like fucking paralyze you or something. That nigga, like, he hits so hard, and you just wouldn't expect it. And then there's just dudes that are just giant out there that it's like, yeah, I'm not saying anything. Like last night at the show, there was this one guy that would, like, every week that he's there, he always like talks to the comics during their shit, like kind of annoying, not heckling, kind of heckling, but like in a way where he's like, oh, I'm helping because like I'm funny, and like it's like I don't care, but like fucking, he was saying like the most annoying shit during people's sets, and I can't even remember an example.
What a douche.
Dude, yeah, and the fucking, I went on and he didn't say anything, and like his friend also didn't say anything, and like I went to get another long drink after because I was like, man, that sucked. There was like not that many laughs even for everyone here. And then his friend was like, oh dude, that was hilarious, and I wanted to like chime in, but I was so scared you were gonna like make fun of me because you're like quick and witty. I was like, dude, literally my shit is memorized. If you would have said something, I'm like, oh yeah, and then just kept on going. But I was like, I appreciate that, but next time fucking laugh. I'm like, oh, come on, dude, don't just fucking not laugh because you're scared of the reaction. I'm like,
hella retarded.
That's like, nigga, that's like hella. Do you mind doing me a favor and pressing that red button?
You were aiming this girl?
Dude, that's my favorite. I had to make it the big red button.
You were aiming this girl?
That's one of my new favorite catchphrases. Stockton catchphrases, just to update people. There's like we have a little dictionary of like Stockton phrases, and you were human this girl. If you can't imagine what that means, or if you didn't tune into one of the, I think like 2 episodes ago, you were human this girl is what Grant said to Jake talking about him fucking some girl, and like I've never heard that before, but that was funny to me. What was another one? Fucking adding me at the end of shit. Like just fucking,
yeah, like when someone's giving you something or like you're acquiring it, like water me.
Yeah, I was doing that that's exactly what I was talking about on my story whenever I was like, oh yeah, fucking water me.
Dude, I read that and I was like, I feel that so hard.
Dude.
Like me and Truax will be at the gym, just like, and I'll be like, belt me, fucking squat me, plate me. 5 me.
Okay, nigga. Dude, that shit is so funny, though. Fucking, the one that True says that kills me is, smell ya. I was saying that earlier, dude.
Smell ya.
Yeah. And I think he's saying smell you later, but just shortened. But fucking, I don't know. That one's funny. What else is there? Dude, that might be it. Before, oh, Nina! I was looking so hard to find where the fuck Seabass was talking about that.
Nina.
That fucking Asian crip that said that shit.
That shit is hella funny. Fucking Asian crip.
It's such a funny image. There's a dude named China Mac that was like from New York, and I think he's a crip, and he's Asian as fuck.
He's just Crip Mac, but a fucking gook.
Yeah. Dude, fucking... It's weird to me that like black chicks are starting to fucking like, they're like a little 20 years late on like the black culture. Cause like back in like the 90s and like the 80s, black people were doing all like the karate kung fu shit and like all that Chinese shit. But now like black bitches are trying to make their names like Chinese kitty and like fucking a bunch of like fucking Asian things, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, you're black, bitch. What are you doing? I swear I've seen like 4 black people or 4 black women specifically try to like hop on that.
That's awful.
I know. That's the type of fucking, I want people to get mad at that racism.
And they're the ones hooting and hollering about cultural appropriation.
I just saw a video of these black kids, like a bunch of them. They were like cussing on a bus or something. Some lady was dumb and like it was a black lady. All of the people are black. It's in Washington DC, and fucking they're like, she's like, just stop. And like then she's yelling and everyone's yelling and shit. And then like literally like 3 black dudes to this like woman like came and were like putting their like foot on her back and like trying to kick her off the bus, and like ended up physically like throwing her off the bus.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, I commented on that. I was like, yeah, this is the shit that, like, why it amazes me that black people think that white people are what they need to be worried about. It's literally black people that make shit hard on black people all over. That's the reason why I'll never be able to wear like an expensive watch, because I know that if I'm wearing something nice, some black dude's gonna decide that he wants it and that he needs it so bad that he's gonna come fucking kill me for it.
Oh, God.
Dude,
Shit on my wrist I would have killed a whole house for.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking 21 Savage. Yeah. Dude, that shit is just, like, crazy to me. Like, fucking black people killing black people. That's how it is, like, among most people that kill each other is, like, it's their own race. But, like, fuck, dude. You see that way too... Or maybe I'm just, like, getting it curated to me, and it's, like, what I want to see or something. But fucking, I see only black people committing crimes on black people. And, like, whenever it's people that aren't, like, doing it to their own race, it's, like, black people knocking out Asians. Or, like, fucking old white people. And I'm just like, why? Like... I remember in high school, the knockout game used to be so funny to me.
Yeah, that shit is fucking hilarious.
Like, now I'll still laugh at it, but I'm like, dude, that's a person.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. And it is also, like, hella problematic with, like, if people actually want, like, social change in a world where people aren't knocking out old women for the comedy of it, like, can't do that.
Dude, and, like, I feel like that's just white people that are, like, scared to be, like... The ones that are calling out every other racism, they're scared to be like, that is fucking racist and fucked up. They're like, think about the type of life that they're living. And it's like, at a certain point, that cannot be what you're talking about, where you came from, because now it's where you are. And where you are is like affecting other people that aren't just you.
Yeah. And where you are right now is knocking out an old Asian woman. So
yeah. And it's like, you're completely in the wrong. Yeah. And that's just annoying. It's like fucking racism by lowering standards. It's like, oh, well, black people.
Whole, like, liberal modus operandi.
Dude, like, literally,
black people can't do this on their own. Let's do it for them.
I don't fucking, like, believe in most of the shit he says, but even Malcolm X said back in like the fucking times that before he got shot by that fucking other black dude, he was saying that like the biggest threat to the black community is the white liberal. And he was just like, yeah, they're trying to do everything for us so we don't know how to do it, and then we could just be dumb enough to be slaves again.
I mean, yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, even a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Dude, yeah, that was before he became super based. I mean, okay, he was even more based then when he was like, all right, we're going to take half the United States as black people, and white people can get the other half.
I mean, that just seems...
We're not going to live with them.
Dude, that's just, like, crazy to me that he would say that, because it's like 50% for 13%. Like, I love to see you try.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, even if you did, like, even if the, like, white people were like, oh, yeah, like, for sure, like, you can get 50%. You guys are smarter than us. You would have just, like, plotted it out to where we had, like...
That's I mean, when he red-pilled himself on that, that's exactly what he said. He was like, they would have just, like, stuffed us in the fucking Midwest.
I mean, but the Midwest isn't even the worst, though. Like, the Midwest is where most of our food is grown and shit. But, like, they would have literally, like, put them in the mountains and, like, in the desert and shit. And, I mean, like... There's not all that, but then they'd be like, Alaska as well. You guys get all of Alaska. Isn't that nice for you? But not Anchorage.
Yeah. Nate and his Anchorage fetish.
I love Anchorage, dude. If people don't know, Anchorage is like the best city in the world.
Sleeper come up, tactical location.
Well, right now it's already fucking awesome. Because, like, if you want to fly, specifically right now, because, like, Russia, they're not letting anyone fly over their airspace. And, like, whenever you see, like, a map of the world and shit, like, it's fucking... It's not like accurate because the world is a globe, so you can't.
Yeah, so it's like,
yeah, you can't properly portray it. So like, whenever you look at it, you think that like Alaska is like above America, and like, oh yeah, that must be super far from like Brazil. But because like the world is a globe. Fucking Anchorage is like the focal point of all travel, like for airspace, because Russia's not letting people fly over them.
Really?
Yeah. So like if you want to go from like South America to Asia, you don't really have enough.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, because it's super. Like, dude, Anchorage is like right next to fucking Russia. Like it's
so
right there.
Not like far from Japan.
Yeah, and
or
it's.
South Korea, I'd imagine.
I think that it's like Asia to South America or Asia to America. You would come in through Anchorage, or like Europe to Asia. Now the best way would be to go Anchorage and fucking then over to like Asia,
instead of having to go like all the way down into the like Middle East and then across all of fucking Western
like cutting
Asia.
across Russia. Because if they could go across Russia, then that would be the
easy
best.
money, yeah.
But right now, that's not P. And it's like, okay, fucking, for as long as the Russia's doing their thing, then that's awesome. But like, whenever we get the global warming people to shut the fuck up, and then we can realize that we need to speed it up, we can melt the ice above Canada and Russia, and then Anchorage becomes like the most dominant shipping port in the world, because it's like at the top, and like you can go anywhere from there. And like, oh my God, dude, just think of the fucking money. I need to be the one that's running that. Like, there's like, you know how like there's the Gaza Strait and like the fucking Panama Canal, like areas that like people can cut it off. The Suez Canal, I think, like areas that people can cut off. The Bosphorus, yeah. We would have that with Anchorage, like going across, and Russia would like also have another part of it, but we have a way bigger navy than them. So
and we'd be like,
we would be the ones that are like, you can't come through here, or you got to go through us. And like if Russia was like, oh well, you can't come through here, you got to go through us, then people might just be like, okay, well,
yeah.
Good luck. We see you're struggling with Ukraine.
Russia is the only people that in like the past 100 years, or I guess since World War II, to have like something better navally than us, though.
Really? What
like
do they
have? For a
have?
little bit, they had the most powerful ship, but they're all fucking wrecked now. None of them run anymore. And they scrapped like half of them. They're called the Kirovs.
Dude, did you ever hear the story about the fucking Soviet? It was when they were still the Soviet Union. The Soviet submarine accident where fucking one of their
No.
they were supposed to be practicing with live dummy torpedoes, and they brought live ones on, and they blew up. Multiple of them blew up inside the ship, and the way it was like, they're like the reason that they love those submarines is because they're like, this is like the pride of Russia. Like this shit can withstand like multiple torpedoes, and so like it didn't like completely blow the ship up, but like everyone was like, whenever you're in a submarine, there's multiple compartments,
yeah,
and like you have to seal them off if like some shit happens, because like and it sucks because like wherever that leak is, they need to find out where it is and like get it off, because if it's in like section 5 and like section 4 and section 6 close it off, the rest of the sub is good. Mm-hmm. But like if they were to like be waiting for people to see what happens, then it would be bad. Yeah. And like they blew up in like the front, and there's this dude like all the way in the back, and like people from like section 7 back all survived like the first couple blasts. But like then the ship like literally tilted up on its side and like fell all the way to the bottom of like one of the like where they were training, and like they didn't know how to get them out of there. And like there's people that literally died because like it slowly started dripping in and like filling up. And like there was a guy that literally was like writing shit down like, oh, we're here, it's scary as fuck, it's dark, my handwriting is shaky because there's no light and it's freezing cold. And it was just like, oh my God.
That's horrible.
And like the entire time, people from the media and like their families were like, we heard that there might have been like, we heard rumors that there was a training accident with the naval shit. And like the guy that was in charge was like, no, there's not a naval issue. I would have told you, idiots. Nice. Get out of here. And like then they were like, okay, I guess you're right. Like I can't question that. And like then like they're like, we still haven't heard from our kid. Like what happened? He was supposed to be like contacting us. Like what's going on? And they're like, dumbasses, I already told you, nothing happened. And that just went on for like 3 days, and then they're like,
gamer gaslighting.
They're like, guys, we might have fucked up and like had a minor incident. And I don't even know if they told people.
Nice. They're just like, yeah, what's it to you?
Russia, they're so weird. Like, I'm not trying to be like super pro America or anything here, but like Russia, like they had that. And there's also a case where like this dude was over studying in Russia, and like he was like an anti-war protesting guy, and like fucking Russia didn't like that. And he just like disappeared like one day and out of his cabin with a couple of his friends. And like they were protesters too. And then they like found him like asphyxiated like 6 days later with like no socks on and no shoes on. And like fucking the nigga was like, they found, like, they did the study and they're like, this guy was not dead, like, the entire time. Like, he's dead now after, like, the 6 days. And they're like, oh, it must have been Siberian tiger. And they're just
like, yeah, Siberian tiger gently choked him out.
Dude, there's a thing called the Dyatlov Pass, and it's named after this incident that happened there where, like, a bunch of hikers were going through in the Urals, and, like, all of a sudden, like, for some reason, there was 2 stories about it. One of them was, like, a group of experienced people, and one of them was a group of, like, 2 really experienced people, a group of people that are kind of experienced, and some people that weren't that experienced. And, like, at a certain point, both groups, like, stopped and fucking, like, started, like, bleeding out of all of their orifices and, like, all, like, their eyes, their nose, and, like, fucking smashing their heads on rocks. And
oh, my God.
There was, like, one girl that survived, and, like, she was so scarred by seeing that. Like, she literally came, like, there was just people
Why'd they do that?
They don't know. And they're like, what could have possibly caused them to do that? And, like, the only way they found out was because, like, this one girl, like, walked up, like, covered in blood and shit, and she was just sitting down, like, next to, like, some river, just, like, staring out, like, weirdly. And then these dudes that were, like, coming through completely on their own, like, kayaking or something, or canoeing, were like, what the fuck? Because, like, it's a girl that's fucking, not like a little girl, but like a, like 18-year-old girl that's, like, covered in blood, looks fucking scarred, and they're like, hey, are you okay? And she just didn't say a word, and they, like, helped get her on the thing and, like, took her back, and then she explained what happened. And then the Russian government was like, must have been hypothermia.
Okay, actual Soviet creepypasta.
Well, they were like, at first they didn't say, they're like, we have no clue what the fuck happened. And then everyone's like, what? And then, like, years later, they're like, yeah, we closed that case a long time ago. It was just, like, normal hypothermia.
Yeah, they're like, do not worry about it.
Yeah, dude, damn it.
Do not worry your head with these things.
Dude, that is such a scary fucking place, man. Like, fucking literally.
They're so metal and, like, they're kind of pussy now, I feel like. Because they have to be like a kind of modern
they have to
democratic
be a good boy,
country
because
right
if not,
now.
we would slap them down with the hand of God.
But the Soviets really were metal with their shit. I mean, like, going back to those Kirov cruisers, they were literally cruisers that had, like, surface-to-surface missiles. They were meant, like, to kill aircraft carrier groups, like our aircraft carrier groups. And they're literally, they just had, like, 36 nukes. They were nukes that flew, like, right above the water and then would just fly to, like, wherever the fucking aircraft carrier is and explode. And they would just launch, like, 12 of them because they know that we have, like, point defense technology that can actually, like, shoot down those missiles still. But they would just, like, send enough that, like, one would get through and it would just nuke the entire fucking fleet.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Imagine busting a nuke out to blow up a boat. That's like...
No one's gonna see it. Dude, that shit is crazy to me. Like, naval combat, because, like, nowadays, like, you can, like, start shooting at people. I'm pretty sure we have ships that can see other ships over the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, even we got radar-guided targeting in, like, halfway through World War II. So we could we're, like, our battleships, even with, like, just the normal cannons at the end of World War II, could engage from, like, dozens of miles, I think.
Dude, that shit is scary. Like, the movie Greyhound with Tom Hanks, like, was the first time I actually thought about naval combat, and it was just, like, actually seeing, like, bullets and shit fly through, like, the thing, because it was World War I, I believe, and it was, like, he was one of the people that was protecting, like, ships going across to, like, help the English niggas and shit, because, like, the Germans were being bad boys with their U-boats sinking, like, all of our fucking convoys.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, fuck that. Like, we're in it too. But fucking, that was the first time I actually, like, pictured that shit. And I was like, damn, that would suck. But, like,
Shit was horrifying.
now it'd be, like, probably over quicker. Actually,
Yeah, that's how, I mean, same thing with, like, air combat. Like, we can just lock onto a dude without even seeing him and shoot 2 fucking missiles and just forget about it.
have you seen the
Start
video
flying
of the,
back to base.
have you seen the video of the dudes with the, it was, like, on the, what's Julian Assange's website? Fucking WikiLeaks, where it was, like, the guys in the AC-130 killing people, like,
Dude, yeah.
talking shit. Like, they're like, hey, that's a high score.
Just, like, roasted him.
Dude, yeah.
Like, laughing.
And then there was one where, like, they, like, knocked a brick building or a brick wall over on a guy trying to fucking hit him with something. And fucking the shit, they're like, oh, look, we knocked the wall on him. Oh, my God. And they're like, look, he's crawling out. All right, get him. And, like, shot some firebomb down on him or something. And like, yeah, that'll cook him. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that is fucking intense. Dude, but
the videos of like, even because like the AC-130 is obviously overkill as fuck because it has like a 20 millimeter Gatling gun on it. It has like a 40 millimeter automatic fucking grenade, like cannon basically on it, and then the 120 millimeter, or it might be a 105. But like, even I've seen clips of like camera on a mounted gun on the bottom of like, not an Apache. I don't think we use Apaches anymore, but like on an attack helicopter, dude, it's like the infrared. You see it go like, and then there's like this group of like 3 little fucking ragheads or whatever, and you literally see there's like just a giant cloud, and you see one of the dude's hot little boots fly like 40 feet into the fucking air over the cloud. Yeah, that shit is so ridiculous.
Dude, did you see what fucking
blew his socks off?
Dude, there's a Fox dude that was asking Trump a fucking question, and asking Trump a fucking question. He was on recently, and I guess he was talking about like the Middle East and how they're fucking acting up over there. And they're like,
a foo.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, this guy, whoever the fuck they're talking about, he wasn't doing that much whenever you were in office. He's like, yeah, that's because I told him if he did anything that we would hit his country harder than any other country's ever been hit before. And then he was like, yeah, and like, what else did you do? He's like, yeah, well, I sent him a picture of his house, and he said, what are you sending me a picture of my house for? And Trump said, well, you'll just have to find out the hard way if you need to. And he was like, yes, Your Excellency. Like, the guy was calling Trump his Excellency. And I hope that that's real, because the dude was just like, this guy is nuts. And like, that's the Trump factor of like, no one here knew what he was going to do, but like, everyone else.
Blow up your house. If you fuck with me, I'll blow up your house. I swear to God, I will do it.
Dude, he was on Twitter threatening to blow up religious sites. Like, not even, he was like threatening to blow up.
You know that stupid fucking Minecraft block in Saudi Arabia? I'll blow it up. I don't care.
No, he was talking about like specifically fucking. No, we would never say that about Saudi Arabia, but fucking, that's the one people we did support still. But fucking, he was lost my train of thought. He was whenever he was in office, like, no one else was fucking acting up, because they were like, yeah, I don't really know what the fuck this dude is gonna do. Like, North Korea, like, he was at the point of calling that nigga Rocket Man. Oh no, the fucking in the Middle East, he was like, I'm gonna blow up like these sites that are like some of the earliest like ancient structures like of all time. And he's like, oh, I don't care, I'll do it. And I was like, that's when like I was like, okay, that needs to get him banned, because like there's no way, like, you're not allowed to like threaten shit like that. Yeah. And I was like,
I'm gonna fucking drone strike a UNESCO World Heritage site.
I was like, come on now, that's too far. They didn't ban him for that. I forgot. I think they banned him for January 6th.
Imagine the fucking Europeans are talking shit. He's like, I swear to God, I will nuke the Louvre right now, France. I do not care.
Dude, he's like, I will destroy France in 2 days. It would be faster than Hitler. It would be impressive how quick we went through. And everyone else in Europe is like, oh no, don't do that. We're going to be so sad.
No, not France.
Dude, so back to
pulls out a laser designator for our planes to come in.
Dude, they have the fucking, literally the shit from fucking Warzone where he's calling in the, everyone's got the cluster. Dude, that would be so funny. Everyone hates France and Europe. I feel like everyone is like kind of like on board with that, but they kind of all don't like each other. Like,
yeah, even though they're all just the same, that's why they hate each other so much.
Yeah, fucking.
They're like, that guy's different. See,
they're literally just seasoned a little bit differently. Like fucking.
Yeah, poorly.
If you took like Italians and put them in like the area that like Hungary was, they would grow out their facial hair a bunch and be pale as fuck. And then if you just took Germans and put them down in fucking Italy, they would get tan and.
Just wad up some oregano and jam it in a German person's ass.
Yeah, to force feed them the other culture so they can be multicultural.
Yeah.
Fucking, dude. I learned that Hungary, actually, the reason that they got to stay hungry was not just because they were cooperating with Germany, but like whenever Germany was going through other countries and like being like, yeah, we're grabbing up your Jews, like Hungary was like, oh no, they're like, please take them. Like, go. No. Like, we're not fighting you at all. And like, they had like, there was like 600,000 just from, I think, Bucharest or Budapest, whichever one is in fucking Hungary. That
Bucharest, I think.
Yeah, there was like 600,000 people just from there that died in the Holocaust.
No, wait. That one is Budapest. I'm retarded.
One of them is like
Romania.
Yeah, one of them. I was gonna say one is Romania and one is Hungary. I get those two confused, and there's another one that's right there that I also get confused. What is it? Fucking not Austria.
Bulgaria.
Fuck no, I think it might just be. Yeah, it is Hungary and Romania. I need to do one of their fucking Hearts of Iron things. I want to do the
shoulder blade hurts.
I want to do the Austria-Hungary playthrough. I haven't ever done that one.
That sounds gamer. Or resurrect Franz Ferdinand's stinking corpse.
Yeah. Dude, fucking... Speaking of Russia being metal as fuck, you know how they have, like, their own NATO thing? Like, between a couple of countries?
Between, like, them and fucking Belarus, and that's it.
No, there's, like, a couple other countries that are, like, still Russian, that are, like Azerbaijan and, like, fucking Georgia and them. And, like, I guess Azerbaijan and Armenia are, like... they're both a part of that, and like
they're beefing.
Yeah, and so like they both called Russia to help, and like Russia's like at first was like sending people to go like on both sides, I think, and then they were like, "All right, we're not helping either of you. This is dumb."
I'm weak. They're like, "Y'all figure it out."
Dude, they had to be on their mature person shit, just like the parent, like, all right, I'm taking you and I'm taking you and I'm separating you apart. And like, you guys are still going to be right next to each other. So like, just hopefully you don't do anything. But dude, that's like Dagestan and fucking Chechnya. Like Chechnyans were, well, no, after a while they were like, all right, Dagestan hasn't left and started committing acts of terror against us. So we do have to kind of help them against the other person right next to him that did leave.
That is a legitimate hostile fucking thorn on their side.
Dude, that shit is so funny. That'd be like if just fucking, I don't know, like a city in like Portland, city named Portland just like fucking decided they didn't want cops in an area. And then they're like, we ran it. No, they ran it and then beat the shit out of people and like murdered people in there.
Dude, my spine. I'm actually dying.
Bad back ass niggas.
Dude, I know. You mind if we cut it a little short so I can go make it to my
yeah, we can.
Humiliation before a female?
First I have to fucking get mad at you that you texted me 2 hours ago and said, oh yeah, if we're gonna record today, we got 2 hours. But really we got 1 hour because I'm gonna go pick up Grant. And
Dude, yeah, because I'd literally right before you were messaging me, and I remembered that we have a podcast. Fucking Grant asked me if I could give him a ride, so.
You be like, Grant, I can't do that. I have shit to do. Dude, that's like hella retarded. Nigga.
Dude. But yeah, I fucking.
It's all good.